Live from the Key TV studio to your TV and on the web, it's Homework Hotline. Go to homeworkhotline.tv to ask your math or science questions.
Welcome to Homework Hotline. My name's Pam Halstead and I taught science at Fortuna High School.
And my name is Beth Baker and I teach math at McKinleyville Middle School.
We're so happy that you guys have tuned in. We have so much to talk about.
Yeah. So on the science side of the counter today, we're going to talk about, we're going to finish up Tuesday's conversation about bugs a little bit, and then we're going to go on to birds. And then on the math side of the counter, we're going to talk about the function machine, which because my school was out because of the power outage today, I had time to completely refurbish the amazing Baker 2000.
Nice.
We'll do the spinner and see if we're going to work or where'd the spinner go? There we go. We're going to see if we're going to work or have fun today. So we'll just check all that out.
Yes.
And then we'll also look forward to all of you who participate by going to homeworkhotline.tv. And those of you who join the conversation, we're always excited to see what your addition is to our conversations.
We are. Yay.
I think my favorite science question that we ever had entered was, are rainbows 3D?
Ooh, that is amazing.
I'm just like, who thinks of this stuff?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So it's pretty cool.
Good thing you didn't ask me that question. Anyway, all right, so we're going to end up, like Beth was saying, we're going to end up talking about bugs with the way that the bugs have a life cycle. So for our life cycle, basically we come out as little humans and we end up as big humans. The difference between bugs and us is they actually have a different, when we say metamorphosis, because that's what their life cycle includes, they kind of transform from one thing into something different.
Oh, so did you bring us little
I
models?
did. I have little models. So we're going to start with a very popular, and we'll start with this
move the
right
bird
here.
over for the moment. Okay.
Here this is. So 85%.
What have we got?
Oh, we have here a mealworm. So those of you that have reptiles that like to eat mealworms or other such animals, pets that like to eat mealworms, you will basically only see them like this.
Right.
In this form right here.
Yep.
So they started out as an egg, that's the beginning, and then from that hatched the mealworm.
Okay.
And this is what your pet enjoys. But then further, they turn into this bizarre looking sort of creature.
Now, if I
but
found
this
that
is
in my yard, I'd call it a grub.
Yeah, well, you know what? Here it is.
little.
It looks grubby, but what I forgot to mention is that it sort of transforms into this thing that remains is static. It doesn't turn. It can't move. So this is what's known as like a chrysalis, or this is a pupa.
Okay.
A pupa is the next stage. From this is known as a larva, and then a pupa. And there's the adult.
Oh, and now do we see these in our area? Because that certainly looks like a familiar beetle-y kind of beetle.
That is well, it's a kind of beetle known as a darkling beetle, and we do have those kind of beetles, but I'm not sure if mealworms are native to our area.
Got it.
Because that'd be cool. You could collect them outside.
We had a lizard once who would do anything for the freeze-dried mealworms, and they're crunchy. And you could hear him like flick his tongue out and then go chunk chunk. It sounded like he was eating popcorn.
Nice.
Yeah. So the freeze-dried mealworms were a big hit with
Very
our lizard.
cool.
Yes.
So this is called complete metamorphosis, which means you go from one basic form to another form, and the advantage to it is that these guys don't compete for the same kind of food.
Oh.
So these guys going around eating whatever plants and stuff, but this guy goes around and eats something completely different. So there's no competition, but this is vulnerable because you can't move. So if somebody knows how to
just has to be
eat you,
hidden. Does it bury in the ground? Or
it
does
may bury in the
hide
ground,
some way?
or it may just go underneath a leaf. Either one of those things, but yes, hiding is important. You might even dig.
Oh, here's a beautiful photo.
Oh,
by
that's
the
great.
way.
Very nice.
Yes.
Cool. They're online. They call them mealworm beetles, but they do have a scientific name as well. So anyway, that's complete. 85% of insects do that. 15% of insects do what we're about to see here. And this is incomplete metamorphosis. And this, do you recognize this bug?
Is he a mantis?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. I like to treat everything like a quiz, and I always want to get a good grade.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, you do. All right. So this incomplete metamorphosis. So what this adult will do, this is the adult. The adult lays once it reproduces or has mates between a male and a female. The female lays these foamy-looking eggs.
Okay.
And this foamy-looking egg thing turns into sort of this hard shell, which protects the little tiny guys inside.
Oh, I didn't even notice there is a teeny tiny guy crawling out of the foam.
Tiny, but the teeny tiny guy looks like the adult. The thing is, so it's known as there's the larva that this larva is called a nymph.
Okay, I've heard that phrase before.
Yes, nymph. And so the nymph ends up just molting its shell until it turns into this right here, the adult.
So will it have several molts as it gradually gets larger and larger?
It certainly will, just like a crab.
And it has to outgrow its skeleton because it can't expand inside there, right?
It can't. That's
there is a particularly goofy picture up for you all to enjoy right there.
Very nice. And yeah, there's that little pupil. It's a cool looking, very cool looking insect.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something, but I've moved on brain-wise, so let's just keep on going. I remember it was something about the mantis. I don't know, but these we do have these around here.
We do.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, they have an exoskeleton. That's what I was going to say. So our skeleton is internal, so it can grow with us, and they can't grow it. I mean, once they get bigger, they have to crack out of the one they had.
Right. And sometimes you'll see them like split down the middle very neatly, and you can see where they like kind of climbed out.
Yes.
And then they must be soft for a little while before they harden again.
Vulnerable.
Oh,
that's
true. Right.
So
that's when they could get eaten.
Yes.
Got it. Yes. Okay.
So there's the ending of insects for us today in the science realm.
We're going to close the chapter on insects. Insects, not instincts. And don't forget to join the conversation. If you are logged in at homeworkhotline.tv, you can not only watch the show, but we can read your comments as you make them.
Yes.
So join the conversation.
Yes,
okay, are we putting our bugs away?
We're putting our bugs away.
Okay, bye-bye.
Here goes, complete, incomplete
metamorphosis. And we talked on Tuesday about the fact that there actually is a true bug, but it's also slang for insects if you're speaking in a non-scientific manner.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. The lovely thing about being a science or a math teacher is I can use terrible grammar and terrible science and say, well, I'm a math teacher. What do you expect? You know?
There's your excuse.
I say fun, funner, funnest all the time.
Very
they
good.
just let me.
That's nice.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Do we want to take a little math break?
Let's do the math break. That sounds great.
And then we'll take a bird break.
Okay. Good
all right.
deal.
So in 7th and 8th grade, a lot of middle schoolers are learning about functions. And we try to find a way to make it fun or interesting or just make it click in the brain. Yes. That's kind of the thing. So we're going to do a little activity here where I've started a tea table where we're going to talk about what goes into the tinfoil box and then what comes out of the tinfoil box. And then we're going to figure out the math problem that's happening in the box.
Nice. Okay. Do you want me to write anything down on the board? Or
yes, that would be great.
I'm going to do it.
If you'll record things.
Great, I will.
So I brought numbers. So this would be like 1. This represents 2. This represents 3. So I brought just little blocks. And then if we want to get into negative numbers, I brought -1, for example. So if we want negatives later, we can have them. So right now, I'm just going to feed the machine a 1.
Okay.
Did you hear the clunk?
There's the X.
All right. So the machine starts to do work in here, so all the gears start going. And then it does a particular math problem, and then you can see what comes out. Listen. Did you hear it?
I heard 3 come out.
Yes. So we fed it a 1. Math happened somehow or other, and a 3 came out.
Yay.
So I'll clear the basket. All right. Cool. So there's lots of different math problems that could turn a 1 into a 3. Like maybe it just is a +2 machine.
+2.
Right? Or maybe it, I don't know, maybe it squares it and adds 2. It could be lots of different things.
Multiplies by 3?
It could multiply by 3. So a 1, if it multiplied by 3, a 1 would turn into a 3. So it could just be a ×3 machine.
Okay.
Okay. So now we're going to feed it again and see what it does. And this time, listen.
4.
4. It does the same math problem it did before, whatever the heck that is. So we fed, and now we're going to count.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yes, perfect.
9.
Okay. So something happened. So the same way we turned a 1 into a 3, the same math problem inside the box turned a 4 into a 9.
Okay.
So it's for sure getting bigger, huh?
Yes, but it's not
All right.
+2 and it's not ×3.
It's neither of those. Okay, so let's try this. Keep going. The machine spins into action. It does exactly the same math problem that was programmed to do before. And then
was that 3, by the way, that when you just hit in was
I just
3?
fed it a 3.
Okay.
And I forgot to empty the basket, which makes it hard to see what came out. So let me empty the basket.
Okay.
Okay. These high-tech machines need a lot of
Yes.
maintenance, as you know.
Yes, very
All right,
nice.
so we fed it a 3. And now here's what happens.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So 7 came out.
Okay.
And we'll feed it 1 more, and then we'll start talking about the rule. It's for sure getting bigger, right?
Okay, definitely
Yeah.
getting bigger.
Okay, good. So now we're going to talk about this little thing, which is if I snap a positive to a negative, I can make a 0 out of 2 blocks.
Okay.
And so this little guy is 1, take away 1, so that represents a 0, and it
Okay.
gives us a way to hold a 0. Okay,
right.
so I'm going to feed it a 0.
0.
So please record 0, even though you heard a clunk.
Okay.
The machine spins into action. I'm getting all of these out of the way. It does the same math problem it did before. You can hear all the machinery working in there. It's not just me sticking my arms in the back of a box.
No,
that
of
would be
course not.
corny. Okay, and
1.
that's all that came out.
1.
Just a 1. So now do you have a theory about what might be turning a 1 into a 3 that also turns a 4 into a 9, that will turn a 3 into a 7, that will turn a 0 into a 1?
Okay, well, so for one thing I'm noticing is that if you double these, if you
Ooh.
double them,
Yes.
double them, that
I'm
would
going to
give
double
you,
them all
okay.
right here. Are you ready? I'm going to
I'm ready.
double, 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 double. So we got a very interesting thing that happened. So what
Double.
happened when you doubled? Did you approach each answer?
I came closer, but I
Uh-huh.
didn't exactly hit that number.
So 2 is closely related to 3,
Yes.
8 is closely related to 9, 6 is closely related to 7, and 0 is closely related to 1.
Yes.
So if we think of this as a 2-step problem, and I'm noticing the camera's not showing that very well, here's our little doubles that we put in. What else could we do to take that last final step? What do you think the rule is?
Well, it seems like in each case of those little numbers that you wrote, every time you add 1 to that, that seems that we get to the y, well, what you've
So
written
we're
as
going to
out.
say, so we can, for the language arts people, we're going to say double and add 1. For the more mathy people, we would say x times 2 plus 1 equals y. And if we're super traditional, the way it shows up in the math books is for some reason we list the out number first. I have no idea why. Y equals 2x plus 1. So here's the full formal math, here's the informal math, and here's for people who love language arts more than they love math. So there you go. Yeah. We have
Nice.
another one of these that we can try later too.
Cool.
Yeah. And then the lovely thing about the T-table, of course, is that later on we could graph it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to that.
Such excitement.
Yay. Yay. Remember, you guys, we are capable of answering your questions.
Yes.
So please go
Or just
online.
join the conversation.
Or
I
join
mean,
the
we know that you
conversation.
can Google
Yes.
as well as we can, but
Yes.
if you have a question or something you're wondering or you want to get involved,
Yeah.
if you saw a big, ugly bug in your garden and you want to share, we would love to hear about it.
Yes.
So whatever you
Describe.
got, yes, join the conversation. We'd
And
love
that
to
was
hear from you.
cool on Tuesday that a person, Nagok, called in
Yeah.
and said, well, I know I can Google, but I wanted to hear your explanation. And I thought that
Yes.
was nice.
It was good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good. I know exactly what he means. Well, we're moving on to birds, and just
Yeah.
as we did on Tuesday, Beth is going to help us with the discovery.
Okay.
And she's going to be dressed
Here we
to
go.
kill, or dressed up like an owl.
Dressed to hunt mice.
Dressed to hunt, dressed to hunt.
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is put this thing, it's kind of tight on her, so we're going to do our best to move through this fairly quickly because it hurts.
We
but look
practiced and I
check
complained.
it out first. Check out this beak.
Okay.
That beak is pointy on the end.
It goes
that beak can grab and hold,
Okay.
hold. So that is what the owl wants
Okay.
to do. Its
Here I
prey is
go. So the
moving
first thing
around
I'm
and
gonna
little.
do is
She's putting
dress
that
up.
on first.
Okay.
Nice.
Here we go.
Okay.
There.
There it is.
All
the
right.
next thing we're going to do
There.
is we're going to put on her special eyes.
Okay.
Her eyes, the eyes of an owl, what's cool about them is they basically are held in place by a bone, and also they are strangely shaped to gather the light just right, because they're nocturnal, a lot of them, many of them. There's some diurnal owls, but they also cannot move, like you can move your eyes to the right and move your eyes to the left. The owl only
They
can
just
move
can move their head.
his or her head, and that's it.
And so if they
then
want to look
looks.
up or down.
That's why all the way, Beth cannot turn her head all the way to her back, but if she
No,
was
I
an
cannot.
owl, she could.
Yes.
There's as far as she can go. Okay, cool. Now she also hears, and in this case for an owl, she has her ears. The owl has, these are slightly off. The owl has a bunch
The
of
whole thing
feathers.
feels slightly
These are slightly off, and what they allow the owl to do is to gather
there's an owl with its
sound.
neck turned
I
really
know, that's a
nicely. Look at
beautiful.
that.
That's a snowy
Ooh.
owl. As the sound comes in, it comes in at different places. It comes in from a high place and a low place, and the owl is able to basically focus in exactly on where that is.
I'm thinking
So
about
pinpoint.
binocular vision
Yes.
instead of binocular hearing.
Right.
So,
Two
yes.
eyes help us to focus. Exactly.
Here
Okay,
we
then
go.
next we have your left arm here. I mean,
oh.
your wing. I'm sorry.
My
She's
wing.
got wings.
Okay.
And there's her left, and here's her right wing.
There we
'Kay.
go. We did practice ahead of
Check
time.
it. Yes.
Yes.
Now she has her wings, and she's able to fly soundlessly because these
Oh, yeah.
feathers are very, very soft, and they go through the. Normally, you can hear a crow flying over the head. It whips its wings, or a
They make so
gull.
much noise.
You make so much noise,
Yeah.
but not an owl, because an owl has basically a cushion, made by its feathers.
Can I say I'm so grateful that you did not bring me a mouse to
Yeah.
for this. Yeah.
I'm very, very happy I did not eat it.
How about my talons, though?
Oh, your talons, for gosh sake. So she
Okay.
also requires, some very sharp
So you can look
claws.
down, swoop,
yes,
and grab
she
'em.
swoops, grabs, holds, and usually
Yes.
swallows it whole, and then poops out something known as an owl pellet.
Oh, yeah, you can find them underneath trees
Yes.
in the woods
Yes,
all the
you
time.
can. Yes, you can.
Wouldn't my talons be on my back feet?
Yes.
wouldn't be on my
We
wings,
can't
so-
have you, but it was hard to
I'm
put
not
them on
going
your
to
feet.
put the talons on my
No,
back,
no.
no.
She doesn't
Sorry.
have talons at the end. She's not a
No.
pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, awesome. Good job, and let's get that ding-dang thing, all
Okay.
that
Here,
beak.
I'm going to debird
Beak.
myself
Yes,
now.
she's debirding.
Okay.
Here, I'll help her. There goes
There
her
we go.
ears. Okay, next
Okay.
come
and
her
the
eyes.
beak, oh my goodness, the elastic is just about an inch too short.
Yes,
Okay.
it's very hard.
I'm going to use my front paws.
Good.
Okay, there we go.
Yay, that's much better.
Things we do.
I know.
All right, there's all
Crazy.
the bird parts. I do think it's fascinating that it would make sense for a hunting bird to have silent wings.
Yes.
So it can sneak through the air.
Yes.
And I'm amazed when I hear a crow or a raven go by at how actually loud their
Very
wings
loud.
are. Like you hear
I know.
like their feathers scraping the air as
It's true.
That always surprises
Yeah,
me.
I know.
And then you mentioned gulls, and I don't think I've noticed. Can you hear a gull? when
You
it
can
flies
hear
by?
a gull as well, but yeah, and there's the pigeons also. When they're flying in flocks, you can hear them. And if you have a flock of like shorebirds over your head, sometimes you can
yeah.
hear them as well.
Oh, and then I love to walk in the woods behind my house with the dog, and there's a quail.
Yes.
And they go brrr as
Yeah.
they all fly up into the trees, and
Yeah.
then they glare at us like we ruined their day or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
How dare they?
My dog has no chase instinct, so she just watches them.
That's
I'm like,
nice.
yes, it's very nice.
That's
yeah,
very
so I don't have
good.
to worry about her.
Oh, that's beautiful. We have
Yes.
this is a barn owl, and we
Oh,
have
it's
barn
gorgeous.
owls here. Yeah, they are very beautiful.
Wow.
They have a real flat sort of face, and
Uh-huh.
they are many times born in barns. And
And then is the contour of its face so that it can look down? Because it must have to fly and turn its neck to look at the ground as it goes, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So there's a coordination of that. Or
Yeah.
there's a structural versus functional. So the function means what it does and what it needs to have done by a body part, and the structure is the shape or the texture of the thing itself. And in
Oh,
biology,
okay.
that's everything. Structure follows function.
And maybe we could talk about your feathers, and then if we have time,
yes.
I will give you one more challenge. How's that?
Yes,
So why
that's
don't we talk
great.
about your feathers, and then
Let's
we'll
do
see if
it.
we have time for.
Okay,
I'll
good.
reset all the mechanisms
Okay,
inside
good,
the
do.
function machine.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, I'll get out my wrenches and screwdrivers and
Nice.
stuff, and reset it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So should we hold these up perhaps?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. So the first thing
I think we
is,
show camera one.
Oh, yes,
Is
camera
that
one.
what
There
we
we
show?
go.
Camera one.
Good, camera
Oh,
one.
maybe we're confused. Okay, that's so last
that's it.
Tuesday.
No, it's perfect.
There we go.
It's good.
Okay,
It's good.
got
Okay.
it.
First thing is, what makes a bird, Beth? And let's talk about that. So, do the beaks of birds make a bird a bird?
I think a lot.
In other words, what is unique to birds? That's my main.
okay, unique to birds.
Unique
so
to birds.
beaks. I can't think of anything else that has a beak.
They say that turtles have a
Feathers?
beak,
Oh,
actually.
that's
So
true.
we could say.
What
that
about
turtle does.
hollow bones?
Hollow bones? That is unique
Because
to a
they're
bird.
super lightweight,
Yes.
so they can get up in the air.
Yes, but I'm not sure that ostrich has hollow bones. But
Oh,
other
but
birds.
probably doesn't need them.
Right. So flightless birds might not need hollow bones, but that's a really good point. Yes.
Yeah.
And birds, all birds have actually a four-chambered heart like we do, and even more complex than we do. But there's one thing that no other animal has, and I'm holding it right now on this board.
Feathers.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Birds are the only creature to have feathers.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So that makes them unique, whether they can fly or not fly. And feathers are good for more than just flight. If you have feathers, you are warm. It can keep you warm.
And the water can run off them, keep you dry.
Repellent, exactly.
And it even makes ducks float.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Got it.
Right. So
Fascinating.
we have some cool feathers here, and I'll give you little clues because you like to choose, and I like to have you choose.
Okay.
Can you see any feathers on this board that are maybe you think from an owl that you just represented?
Oh, maybe
Perhaps.
this tall one right here. Maybe this one is an owl
It
feather.
looks like that, but I'm sorry it isn't.
Oh, dang it.
I know.
Okay.
But look for soft. Look for soft
Okay, then
edges.
this one over here.
Yep, you got it.
Because maybe the edges
Yes.
wouldn't make any noise because it's
Yes.
all, the feather is feathery.
That's right. And the one you chose is more like from a crow sort of thing, although so
It's hard to tell.
It is hard to tell.
Yeah.
What about there are
I want to talk about that rainbowy one.
parrot.
Oh, parrot.
That is a parrot.
This
yes.
one here.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
So the coloration can also be
Wow.
part of attraction, mate attraction.
Uh-huh.
So the more colorful animal sex is it male or female for birds?
Typically male. I'm thinking about
Yes.
peacocks.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And why would a male need to be males, of course, to attract the female? But why is the female important that she's not so colorful? Any
Maybe
ideas?
as a protective coloration so predators don't get her?
Right, because what's
Or
she
she
doing?
can hide on the nest.
Hiding on the nest, and she doesn't want to be attacked by any predators.
Right, that would be bad.
Yes. Now,
Yes.
there's feathers. Two examples of feathers that I don't think I would guess this, but I read the answers. Beth, so
Okay.
like you, from an emu. So there are two feathers that are
I
from
think the super
emus.
fluffy one, that one.
Yes.
Because what the heck? Because I've
Good.
seen emus.
Oh yes.
And
And there's
then
one more that's emu.
Super fluffy, this?
It
the
looks
poof?
like that's a downy thing, but it's actually in the top
this
row.
one.
That's it. Those
Oh,
both are
they're
from emu.
amazing.
Emus are large birds.
Yes.
That are flightless and can run really well. And yes,
Oh, that's amazing.
it is.
And then are there any like chicken feathers down there?
I don't see there were no chicken
How
feathers.
about number 7 with that red spine down the middle? What's
Oh, yeah,
that?
the red spine.
Oh, there's a really nice emu, and you can see the beautiful,
Yes.
like sort of yarn-like
Wait,
feathers.
hey, this one that you did, this is a cormorant feather, and there's a nice emu. That was a cormorant. It was a black bird around here that's a macaw. But that number 7, it looks like it's a red-shafted flicker. So we have flickers around here.
As a matter of fact, they dig holes in my yard
Yes.
with their big.
Yes.
With their, they look like
Beaks.
a woodpecker. Like
Yes,
a cross between
they
a robin
do.
and a woodpecker. They have
They do.
big pointy beaks, and they dig big old holes in my yard.
Yes.
I assume they're going after worms.
They're looking worms and grubs, yeah.
Yeah. Lots of protein, I
And
guess.
insects.
Who
Very
knows?
nice.
Yes.
Cool.
Got it.
All right. Well,
Wow.
nice. Oh, wait. There's a great horned owl. Oh my! That one, that fluffy thing that you picked.
that.
Apparently, that's from the great horned owl, which is sort of surprising.
It's amazing.
But, yeah,
It looks like the
isn't it?
down that falls out
The
of a down coat too.
It
It's
does.
Just the
Yes.
teeniest breathe makes it flutter.
It does.
Yeah, do
And
it
it's very neat.
There, I
that
just
keeps
made it
you
windy.
very warm. That's why down jackets are made with down jackets and down
Yes,
feathers.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yay! All right.
Very cool.
We've looked at birds, and now
Is it time for our little math
It's time
break?
for our
I think we have
math.
just enough time to finish it up.
Yes.
Okay, so let's
Oh,
try.
that was a nice great horned owl,
let's
but anyway.
try a whole new rule. Are you ready?
'Kay,
And
I'm
this
ready.
time I think we'll start with a few negative numbers and see how we do. How
All
do you
right.
like that?
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to use red to represent negative numbers, just so that we have a way to show it. So
All
I'm
right.
going to feed the machine this.
2, 3, 4.
Okay.
-4.
So we
Okay.
put it. So now the machine's doing a whole new thing. I reset it. It's going again. It's got a whole new thing. Okay. Did I empty the basket? I did. Okay.
Yes.
Here's the answer.
1, 2. -2 is the answer.
Oh, so somehow or other, this machine turned a -4 into a -2.
I'll clean it for you.
Okay. Thank you.
We're certainly welcome.
All right. Here we go. We're going to feed it a 1.
1.
And here's what comes out. Okay. Oh, nope, I goofed up. I'm going to feed it a 2.
2. 2.
I forgot my own rule.
That's all right.
I mean, the machine was
The
miscalibrated.
machine.
Yeah, and out comes a 1.
Okay. 2.
Did it stick?
1.
I don't want to get my hand ground up in the machinery. There it is.
'Kay.
Okay. All right, and then we're going to feed it, do you remember what this thing is when I snap a
That was
negative?
0.
Feed it a 0.
Okay.
Then it whirls into action, does exactly the same math problem that it did
Yes.
before. What comes out?
A 0 comes
A
out.
0. Do we have a theory yet about what might be happening?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, -4.
Sometimes it's easy just to
If you
start with the
added
like
2.
pick an easy one and
Okay.
just brainstorm on it for a while, like what will
Okay.
turn a 4 into a 2.
Yes.
So just think about that one because it's the easiest one to brainstorm
You
on.
subtract,
and
but in
then-
this case it's -4 to -2, so isn't that
So it
adding
didn't subtract.
2? It added 2.
Okay. So let's try one more and see if you like
All
this
right.
one. Are you ready?
All right.
They're
I'm
all
ready.
red.
I'm ready. Let me get
Oh,
see how
thank
this-
you.
Okay, cool.
They're all
30
red.
seconds.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Machine whirls into action.
-6.
Here it goes.
1, 2, 3. -3. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, 3 is half of 6.
Oh, we got the word.
1 is half of 2.
She got it
2
at
is
the
half of
last
4.
minute. There we go. Ta-da!
Yay!
It's a half machine.
Thanks for
Tune in
watching
next
the show.
week.
Tune in next week. Yay!